Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast. This edition of the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by these great sponsors. Axon started out of a passion for keeping agriculture moving. Imagine having 100 years of tire and wheel knowledge in your back pocket the next time you sell a piece of ag equipment. To find more or become an Axon dealer, please visit axontire.com. This podcast is also brought to you by Valley Transportation. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 or go to valleytransinc.com for all your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. This podcast is also brought to you by Ag Direct. No matter how you buy your ag equipment, from a dealer, auction, or a private party, Ag Direct can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com.
Moving higher in the 21st century. Hard-working people working hard for you and me. Moving higher time and time again. Through the years you'll find us here. Moving higher.
Hello and welcome to Moving Iron Podcast number 269. 269 here. I got my buddy Aaron with me. Aaron, how you doing?
Good, my man.
This edition of Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by
Axon Tire, helping dealers move more iron for the past 100 years. For more information, go to axontire.com.
Axon Tire would love to give the loyal listeners of the Moving Iron Podcast not just a mouse pad, but a resource mouse pad.
Resource.
Right. So how many times have you been sitting there going like, now back in the day, I remember like an 18.4, I think was like, maybe it was at like a 420 or 480. Was it a 520? I don't remember.
Oh, this is probably for the
remember.
average person question.
Right. I don't quite remember the conversion, the metric conversion to the, to.
But yeah, I get
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
But they have, so if you want one of those mouse pads, all you have to do is go to axontiretips.com. There's a lot of blogs, a lot of good studies, a lot of case studies, and those kind of things there for you to check out. Go to the bottom. There's a little form to fill out. Fill out the form, and Aaron, you get not one, but two, baby. You get
Dose.
two. So if you have two computers or two offices, or, hey, you want to put one in your travel bag, however you want to do that.
Yeah.
However you want to accessorize.
Throw a mouse in your travel bag.
If you're bored in the office, you want to use one for a Frisbee, bam, you're good to go.
There you go.
Good to go. So check that out. Go to axontiretips.com, and that will send you two Axon Tire resource mouse pads for your, I guess, tire entertainment. So,
There you go.
right on. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 for all your trucking needs. In Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours.
And no matter how you buy ag equipment, from a dealer, auction, or private party, Ag Direct can finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about all your financing options at agdirect.com.
And finally, the Moving Iron Podcast is brought to you by TractorZoom. With access to over $20 billion worth of heavy machinery sales data, TractorZoom's Iron Comps is the industry's trusted solution for transparent, heavy equipment values and auctionable pricing insights. All right, Aaron, so it's been a little bit since we had an opportunity to record a podcast together. You've been out being like, hey, warrior.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, warrior.
Yes, sir.
I wonder if they ever could do that sometime, like corn warriors, but I had...
Ooh, they should. That would be awesome.
I got 72 tons per acre.
Yeah. No shit. Be like, how do you bale this? I can't digest it. You have to just chop it and weigh it. That's all you can do.
Put it into windrows, and now we got an 8.5 foot tall windrow of alfalfa out here. Not for sure how we're going to make this work this year.
Raise that wind sheet all the way up on that pickup head, all the way. Oh man!
So how was that? How'd that treat you?
It was there. I tell you what, it was when we were running. It was great, but we had a lot of downtime. That was very frustrating, and really,
to say the least.
Yeah. It was not a cool deal, but we got her done, and all the way up to the end, something broke. You know?
Yeah.
Got a 14 bale mover, like 10th load, chain brakes. Well, then we did like about 400 with the skid loader and the gooseneck and a loader tractor. That was a long evening.
Yep. Good times. Makes me want to get to the.
Yeah.
I almost had the dust off the old hay monster.
It really makes everybody should have hobbies like that, right?
Should, yeah.
Yeah.
Hobbies.
Sitting there waiting for a mechanic to show up. Oh, look at everybody at the lake on Facebook. Terrific.
Yeah. You should get one of those.
A lake?
No, a hobby other than haying.
Oh. Yeah, something that doesn't involve ag and agriculture. But good luck.
Yeah. Good luck with that. Okay.
Yeah.
No, last couple of weeks been a little bit of an odd week. You know, we've seen some lot of recession talk out there. You hear a lot of people talking about that.
Very much. Rates. Rates. That's all you hear.
Yeah, the diesel fuel that you put inside of the vehicle, whatever it is that you're driving, is worth more than the machine you're actually putting it in. So that's
just at my place.
So we got that going for us, but I don't know. It was kind of we haven't experienced anything like this. I mean, the last time I experienced this, I remember I was 2003 or 2004. We had high gas prices anyway, and then we had a huge hurricane. I don't remember what, Rita?
No.
Hurricane Rita? What was the one that hit New Orleans?
Katrina,
and then right after that one was Rita.
Right, so which was Houston.
Yeah, Houston.
Right.
So you had the whole mess down there on the golf
because
course.
a lot of people from New Orleans went to Houston. It's like, son of a bitch, again?
You gotta be kidding me.
In the van, let's go.
So they had that happen, and then you take a look at what was going on there. I mean, you had the entire eastern Gulf Coast got hammered by Katrina, and then you had Rita come through right up the Gulf and knock that out. So we knocked down all these refineries that were out on the coast, messed up some oil rigs out in the Gulf, and we saw. I remember seeing like $4.25, $4.30, gas. And I remember telling my dad, because my dad's an oil field guy, and he goes, "We'll never ever ever see gasoline this expensive again." And I was like, "Wrong." We did. We saw it. So now we're looking at $5 average gasoline across the country right now. It just kind of makes you kind of sit back and think a little bit, like, what's that? What's that mean? How's that gonna function?
If you pull up to get diesel, even in a pickup, just a pickup, and you have a 30-gallon plus tank, and you're empty, it takes 3 card swipes to fill the pickup, man. You get nothing done. Can't go in and get a tea or roller dog. Nothing. You got to sit there and babysit the pump.
No, you can't, because you can't afford it.
Yeah, good point. Hot dogs are 99 cents. Well, sorry. Had to buy diesel.
That's a thimble full of diesel, pal. Okay?
Yeah, no kidding.
So I guess as you take a look at all that stuff right now, and guys you're talking to, stuff you're seeing pop up, what kind of response are you getting from the dealer world out there with what we see?
In general, there's not a lot of talk of rates like you see all over TV, radio, everywhere, internet.
Yep.
Everybody knows, but it's, in the ag community, so many people remember double-digit interest.
Right.
And a lot of guys realize we've had a hell of a run with almost no interest to speak of, And during that period, some bang out commodity prices.
Right.
So it's kind of like, I get it. Had to happen at some point. It sucks, but nobody I talk to is going to change it. You know?
Yeah.
So that it felt like we're in the 6th month, right? First 3 months, supply issue, shortage, delay, shortage, all that. That's all it was constantly. The second quarter of the year, less of that.
Right.
Kind of like everybody's numb to it. course, you have in our world the busiest season of the year.
Yeah, you got water.
Yeah,
You got
April, May, and June. You know,
people getting water spray and hay and finishing up whatever plan they got to get done.
now we're getting toward the end of June, and that delay and shortage, all that's starting to kind of ramp back up. But everybody's getting ready for fall. You know,
Right.
Machine-wise parts.
Sure.
You know,
Yep.
guys green lighting combines, fixing
Yep.
it themselves, whatever. It's becoming a big thing again. And again, it makes no difference where, what color, what piece of machinery.
Yeah.
Everybody is in the same boat. Vehicles, same thing.
Yep. I think, I wrote I wrote an article just not too long ago, and I kind of went to some predictive analytics and some stuff you see out there and some of those kind of things that you're looking at. And I think right now there's a lot of information out there right now that's circling around, and this is the first time I've ever had that conversation with someone that one camp is recession by fall, get ready for it because here's what's coming, and the other camp is it's just kind of a small blip. We'll see something happen in the fall. We're not saying it's going to be a recession, but we're saying it's going to be more of a kind of like Rich Possum, when he was on the podcast this last week or two ago, he talked about that. Like, we're going to see up till August, and then we're going to start seeing it trickle back up. And he's sold on the fact that we're not going to have a recession. That this is going to be just a blip, and we're
just kind of rolling through the summer,
right? But it's going to be like a gradual, like inflationary effects are going to be, slowing down after that time. This time next year, we should see dramatically less inflation. Interest rates should be down. Those kind of things. So it's hard to say. Who knows what? Who knows? Because you go out and listen to somebody else, and they're going to tell you that we're in. This is
well, if somebody does know, they're already a zillionaire.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And
find out who's making news in October.
Yeah. So, kind of the other heavy thing out there right now when you're looking at what's going on with this marketplace is that if you look at the way things are flowing through here and what we see happening, every month is a new interest rate, right? Mm-hmm. For the longest time, like we might see the interest rate move 2 or 3 times in a year, right?
And for the last 20 years, that would have been active, even. I mean, we're
Now
talking last 5 years for that, even.
Now it's every month we're seeing some movement. And I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see what happens in July with interest rates, because we've had a 1.5 move up in interest rates since the first of the year. And that's counting the 75 basis points we saw in June. And then, we had a couple different, like 2 or 3, 25%, and maybe a 0.5% in there, moves up in interest rates. And the Fed's already said, hey, July's coming around, we're doing another 0.75 of a point. It's if someone's ready to buy something, I'm like, you really need to just
right.
You need to write the paper right now, because
if you're 30% or better, just do it.
Just write the paper now, because part of me thinks that maybe they've baked a lot of this stuff into interest rates based on what the Fed said in the first of the year, and that these lending institutions are going to say, all right, we're going to take a slight raise up. It might go a 0.25 point or something like that here. But the other side of it too is, all right, we're going to raise another point. So it's a tough one to kind of figure out, because all these lending, every one of them, all the lending, they've done a, first 0.25 point we saw, there was almost a % rise in.
Oh yeah,
almost a whole percent. The second one, there was almost another whole %. This one happened in the middle of the month, so they were, but we saw another 0.5%, something like that, jump, and then so now going in July, you're going to see 3% in between June and July on the Fed lending rate and what that looks like. So, how much of that did they have baked in, or is that just, hey, we're going to see what happens next?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But that's going to be interesting to watch that happen. So, when you're the guys you're talking with, I mean, what are they hearing from their customers? What I haven't really heard anybody say anything about it. I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh shit, interest rates are high,"
Yeah, I mean,
And they keep rolling.
right.
What they're doing. But
And it's really not much a discussion thing, like nobody.
shockingly enough, it's not.
Yeah, and everybody you talk to is like, well, I know it's going way up. What's the interest? And look it up and tell them like, oh, okay. I mean, that's literally it.
Yeah, so it's a trip, man. I mean, it's a weird deal. I don't know what that looks like and how these things move forward and what the overall marketplace looks like. But I mean, so much of this equipment that we're seeing right now is the odd thing about all this. The thing that really kind of is the red herring here is so much equipment right now. The red herring is not the right word. It's the
I don't know any sayings for it to put it on the podcast, so.
But I think the underlying issue that no one's talking about.
There you go.
Elephant in the room, right there.
Elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room. I think the elephant in the room that people aren't really talking about right now is all these delays that we're seeing across the board, right?
Constant.
We got guys that are going to go into wheat that should have had a combine 2 months ago that's been moved 43 times down the way, and who knows when they're going to get it now. And, I mean...
And there's a spot in southern Grand Island that is incredibly red for as long as the eye can see.
But unfortunately,
it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. I mean, it's everywhere that you look. So now you start looking at some of these machines that you're bringing in on trade, and then you're going to say, like, they literally have an entire another season of use on them.
Right.
Wheat run and fall crop run.
Yep.
Right? Now these machines come in, whether it's tractors, combines, windrowers, balers, whatever it is, Some of the stuff, I mean, you have a windrower come in and you may not get to use it.
Right.
You may not get to use it this year. Right?
You get to the point with some of that. Okay, great. I'm looking forward to my deal whenever it shows up, and you go with what you got, and that's where we're at.
So now you're looking at a machine that would have been on your lot with, I'm just using numbers here. Let's just say you had a 2-year-old machine. No, let's just use a real life example. You got a 5-year-old combine, a 6-year-old combine. It's got 750 separator hours to 1,000 separator hours on it. You run it one more whole season, right?
How old? 5-year-old?
5-year-old machine, right?
With 750?
Just 750 to 1,000, maybe 1,250, something like that. But you've got a machine out there, right? So a 5-year-old machine would be 2016, right? No, wait, 2017.
17. Last year, 6.
Yeah, so 2017. So you have a 2017 machine out there. It's got, the first guy that got it brand new, he put 400 hours on it. The second guy put 300 hours on it, and the third guy that where you're sitting at right now, the third guy has it, and he put 250 on it for 2 years, something like that. So now you're looking at 700 to 1,000, right around 700,000 hours, something like that.
1,000 hours. 5 years old, 1,000 hours.
Machine's supposed to be here, right? Supposed to have a good solid amount of reconditioning done to it because you're at that point, right? You're at that point. Guys, combine's not coming in. Now you're sitting back and you're going, well, I mean, what's depreciation? What's depreciation on something like that?
Well,
what
does his hour meter say? Is it 950 or is he already 1,000?
I'm going to argue that it doesn't change anything.
Yeah. Never happened with this guy, man.
And here's why I don't
care. I don't care if that combine is 995. It's not 1,000.
No, I see what you're saying. I seen it at the break point. I'm talking about
current market today. No, it doesn't change anything because the fact that it's available is the biggest factor.
Right. So my point I'm making is, we've got this machine sitting out here, and we've got whatever you made this deal, whatever else. The only deciding factor in that machine, in my opinion, that is going to change and dictate the way that the machine, what the value of the machine is what you did or didn't do to it before you took it to the field.
For like,
if you're like me, if I'm a farmer, And I'm like, all right, I got to get it through wheat, right?
Right.
And now you find out, okay, now I got to get it through most of my corn.
Right.
Right.
And then you went from both of those together because you patch that sumbitch so much through wheat. You're like, no, we're not doing that again. Just fix it. And you just green lighted your combine that you weren't even supposed to own.
Right. And so that's a weird conversation to have. And to me, I don't think, my personal opinion is you had to use the combine and you needed to fix the machine to make it operate so that you had maximum capacity, right?
I would say this. If you're, and this is just kind of a hunch, just kind of popped into my head, and it's about a combine, so it's got to be half relevant. If you're in the maybe as far down as 13, but I would say 1,400 SEP or more. Mm-hmm. If you're in that guy's realm, that's your machine. The hours, show me your shop bill. Yeah, hours don't matter. You're free to go.
Right.
If you're in the 8 to 12, in that ballpark, that is the most important piece of paper on the history.
Yeah.
Or on the face of the planet.
Exactly, yep.
Because
you got a fair amount of stuff to worry about right there.
Right. You got one guy who's had an 800-hour machine that was shot.
Yep.
And you got other guys that are like, how on earth could you spend more than $5,000 at 800 hours? Be like, how could you only spend that?
Exactly right, yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So I think there's a... that is going to be something that's going to be worth paying attention to.
Yeah.
Because here's like we talked about a million podcasts ago. This last quarter of the year,
Combines on an auction.
Well, no, I mean this last everything's showing up this last quarter of the year.
By the way, loyal listeners, we haven't brought that up in ages. So
yeah. I forgot what an auction was.
They still do that's at retail gathering where you get a hot dog and a hamburger.
People still do that, huh? Okay, I didn't realize that. It's kind of like tight rolling your jeans, you know.
Right.
That's coming back, huh? Look at that.
Yeah, it's a dealership pricing reference day.
Yeah, I think.
Oh goodness!
But here's the thing, we talked about all the stuff showing up the last quarter of the year.
Right.
Everything showing up the last quarter of the year is sold.
Oh, absolutely.
So
everything showing up first quarter 23 is sold.
It's so much stuff is just backlogged. You know what I mean? It's just like
I got a guy who put his name on a sprayer today that he gets in April of next year. You think it will be? I'm like, says April now. That machine is not yet even to the point of being delayed. So,
right.
I'm like, worst case scenario, it goes in inventory. All right, let's do it. I'm like, there you go.
Right. Yeah.
That is a long ways from today, man.
It's building your pipeline, though.
Yeah. I know. Every month I'm like, man, I really need to. Oh, look at that. I forgot when is that coming in? Oh, man.
Yeah, but you have, there's
all you can do is laugh, man. Like, I fought it and beat my head against the wall, and I was a grumpy son of a bitch for 18 months, quite frankly. And it's like now, sorry, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's one of those things now where, even a customer, you go out and talk to the customer about it, they're numb to it. They're like, okay, well.
Right.
What am I supposed to do now? I'm like...
Well, the beauty of it is, it's not like they got in most instances, not all, but most instances, your signature and a couple bucks. Right. That's it.
Yeah.
It ain't like you got I want to order that new X9 and here is the title to that East Quarter.
Right.
That's not how it works.
Right. And to me, it's just it's a conversation that you have with the customer, and you're trying to keep them in front of everything they have so they can make the best decisions that they can make. But there's just so much that are out of anyone's control.
Right.
Absolutely out of control. But out of anyone's control, I should say, not out of control. But it's that too.
Somebody down the line.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's at, or she, or they, them. I don't know where they are, but they need an ass whooping. That's it. I don't know what else to say.
You need to bust out a little Roy D. Mercer on him, and then have it be, how big a boy are you?
Yeah, no kidding.
All right. So that's a good place to stop, man. So, Aaron, folks want to reach out to you, get more information about what it is you have going on. What's the best way to do that?
Well, just about anywhere.
Good.
It's quite a list.
That's exciting.
Call me, text me, 308-760-1193. I am on the Twitterverse at Aaron Fintel, Aaron. By email, aaron.fintel@movingironllc.com. Right?
That's right.
Man, every time now. And on the Book of Faces under my name, LinkedIn under my name, and pretty much under my name.
That's what she said.
Where?
Hey. All right. I'm Casey Seymour. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Moving Iron LLC. You can find me on LinkedIn at Moving Iron Podcast. And if you want to see the video version of this podcast and see what Aaron looks like over here, he's like fading away.
Fading away, shit.
Fading away to nothing over here. So check that out at Moving Iron. It's
I
Moving
was
Iron
this
Podcast.
size once upon a time.
Yeah.
We
all were.
It was a bit ago.
We all were. Fourth grade for me, but whatever. But they had. So check that out. YouTube. Go to Moving Iron Podcast YouTube channel. Check it out. See what's there. Our good friend Alex Chachenko has made his way back to Ukraine.
Woo!
And he is going around passing out all the humanitarian aid he can pass out. Talked to him this morning, and he's doing good. He's 10 miles away from the front lines, dropping stuff off. So he is definitely in harm's way. If you want to help Alex out, he's got
probably selling a sprayer while he's at it.
Probably, yeah, for sure. Sure he is. So if you want to help Alex out, go to GoFundMe.com and look up Help Alex Transport Humanitarian Aid from Poland to Ukraine. And he'll there's a GoFundMe there. You can donate whatever you can, whether it's $1 or $100,000, whatever you got could really help Alex along the way here. So he went out and he's cast in his own chips and he's making it work. So he bought a blue Mercedes van, which is a very European thing, and
Sprinter.
Yeah, he showed it to me the other day. He had two tons worth of stuff in it. He was hauling around. So everything from jerry cans full of gas to baby strollers. So I mean, think about that. So if you could help Alex out, that'd be great. Check him out. GoFundMe. Show notes as well. There's the link there for that too. So with that, I am Casey Seymour with Aaron Fintel. Let's move spine, folks. Out. Axon Tire is going to have more tips, tricks, and client advice throughout the year and in September at the Moving Iron Summit in Nashville. If you're looking to sign up for the event, please head over to MovingIronLLC.com. We hope to see you there. Valley Transportation has been hauling ag and construction equipment across the country for the past 33 years. Call Parker at 800-657-4910 or go to valleytransitinc.com for all of your trucking needs. At Valley Transportation, our goal is to help you reach yours. And no matter how you buy ag equipment from a dealer, auction, or a private party, AgDirect can help you finance it. You can even apply online at agdirect.com. Learn more about your financing options at agdirect.com.
Moving higher in the 21st century.